During World War II, the United States government locked up thousands of people of Japanese ancestry. Tonight, Len Clements brings us up to date on the movement to reimburse those people for the losses they suffered.
The Army said that the Japanese Americans had to be removed from the West Coast because they posed a threat to the security of the United States. But a congressional commission, whose report was released in February, found that the mass evacuation was the result of race prejudice, war hysteria, and a failure of political leadership. As a result, more than 110,000 Japanese Americans were forced to leave their homes and belongings and move into government-run camps. The commission has made a recommendation to Congress that each of some 60,000 surviving internees be paid $20,000 in compensation for their loss. This evening, a key supporter of the financial compensation movement was in town to address a meeting of the Japanese American Citizens League in Glendale.
We're talking about the whole basic concept of the dignity and integrity of the human being. We're talking about the rights of individual citizens, because in this country, indeed, it's the last great hope of all mankind, it seems to me.
Many of these people were locked up in camps during World War II and lost their homes and personal possessions as a result. But before any money can be paid out to them, Congress must first accept the Commission's recommendations. The issue of financial compensation is not expected to come to a vote in Congress before sometime next year. Even the most optimistic supporters admit that it has little chance there.
We're talking about unemployment still exceeding 10%. We're talking about enormous trade deficits. So the economic situation is not such that is conducive to the enactment of such legislation.
But he says that the most important issue is education.
I think we as people must always be vigilant to make sure that the rights and liberties of the individual are preserved. I think it was George Santayana, the philosopher, who said that unless we learn from the mistakes of the past, we're doomed to repeat them. And this again is the type of philosophy that we believe, that indeed in 1942 a group of American citizens were deprived of rights because of their ancestry. This should never happen to any group of people any time in the future.
Len Clements, News Center 10.